Hello, this is Johnny Cycles of CyclesGaming.com here with my first, well, I mean, maybe my first, I guess it's my first practice game with my John Souls of the Lost featuring Fable the Mirror Breaker, but it's not my first practice game of John Souls of the Lost. We'll keep this and run out this Ragavan. Put our opponent to the test. We'll follow it up with a Stitcher Supplier. This is a sweet hand. We don't have any interaction, but we do have a, well, we'll see what we have after this Thoughtseize. I'm gonna say we don't have any interaction, but we do have some good pressure. We have a way to fill a graveyard. We have a way of gaining value out of that filled graveyard. We'll see what they take. I mean, I could see them taking the Stitcher Supplier and just leaving us with a bunch of weak creatures. I think I'd probably, it's tough. Either Stitcher Supplier or Souls of the Lost I would take. Souls of the Lost is the bigger threat, but then again, they may just have a Fatal Push or whatever. But I feel like if they had a Fatal Push, they would have killed our Ragavan. Still sick. I don't know what's going on with the congestion. They took the Stitcher Supplier. Yeah, so they're going for trying to shut down our shenanigans. These cards aren't great without me filling the graveyard, so Sager is pretty nice. See what we get off of a Ragavan hit. Raven's Crime. Target player discards a card. It's going to be like that, is it? So we'll go ahead and we have the forest, and we have two forests really, so we'll get a Blood Crypt. I mean, they're going to have us, they're going to retrace it. Oh man. Okay, well, we'll make them discard. So it's a discard deck. Maybe it's the rack. Smallpox, yeah. We're going to have to discard, so we don't want to get rid of put in the Souls of the Lost. This is now a 3/4, so we will go ahead and cash that treasure in, and run out this Tarmogoyf. And try to put a clock on our opponent who is looking to strip our hand of any non-land cards. So Smallpox. Each player loses a life, discards a card, sacrifices a creature, then sacrifices a land. All right, well, opponent just scoops it up. I mean, we're in the free play area. Maybe they're missing their lands, and we already have 5 damage on board. Well, so against discard, you know, I guess they'll probably bring in ley lines against our graveyard shenanigans, so we should bring in, could do Terra Sunder or just Assassin's Trophy. I think Terra Sunder. Could just bring in the Pulse of Morosis for the memes. Make us discard, get it back. We didn't see many creatures, but I mean, we can Thoughtseize a Thoughtseize. I'm sure they are playing creatures. Go down even more. Hopefully they won't scoop too quick. I mean, it's frustrating to have an opponent scoop that quickly no matter what, whether you're recording or not. It's hard to test out. Wow. 6 lands and a Footfall Crater against a discard deck. Seems solid. Alright. Got some cards we can't cast, but we are not going to worry about that for now. We have 2 Ragavans, which is good. The Tarmogoyf, maybe put that on the bottom since we don't even have the green source. We're assuming we're going to lose a Ragavan. Anyway, it's never fun to lose or to have an opponent scoop early, but maybe they missed a land drop. Or Borg, the neat one. Maybe they just missed a land drop and they knew they were taking 5 or 6 or more a turn and didn't have it discarding only grows our Goyfs. So we drew the Goyf. How often does that happen? Seriously, how often does that happen? But I mean, I'm not going to complain, especially if we hit a green source. But when we put a Goyf on the bottom and it's the first card you draw, I mean, come on, man. Anyway, this congestion got me so, yep, discards a card, retrace. I'm going to do it again next turn. What should we discard, folks? Probably the Stitcher Supplier. Now, if they have us discard again, what are we going to get rid of? The Goif, I imagine? It's just the rag. Alright, the rag deals X damage to that player where X is 3 minus the number of cards in their hand. So we'll take none this turn. Let me draw another Goif. Excellent. So we could, I don't know. I really don't know because we can play a Goif with a treasure we get off of this Ragavan or Borg. But we kind of want to save the questing druid as a way to refill our hand. But I mean, they scooped to it last turn, last game. Maybe they'll scoop to it this game. So 2-3 though. It's not that impressive. We got nothing, homie. They're making their land drops this game. See what they have any kill spells or more discard. Yep, they're going to make us discard a card. We'll get rid of this Tarmogoyf. I feel like no matter what, we're going to, oops. I don't know what I just clicked on, but I have a feeling that no matter what, we're going to, I guess not. All right, well, we do hit another land. That's good. I don't know if there's a world in which we really want to. Two racks is a lot of racks. There's another rack. Oh man, too much. Well, we can cast that rack. Start punishing our opponent for a similar. I mean, we're going to be taking a lot. Okay, well, they're going to 11. Have 2 cards in hand. What is it? Smallpox, maybe? Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. This guy is a 3/4. We'll sacrifice the Ragavan. They just right now are trying to buy time, I think, to kill us to these racks, which we're about to take 6. We do hit a Terra Sunder, which is good. I guess that's why you don't always yield to the rack, because we could Terra Sunder in response. 4/5. So what we'll do is, oh, that's a green spell anyway. So green, black, X all that. See if we can survive. We're going to take 2 next turn. Our opponent goes to 7, is going to take 2 themselves. It goes to 5, and they're dead on board. So if they have an answer, a kill spell or something, then we're in trouble. Looks like they might have something, a Liliana. Yep. Well, we'll sacrifice this questing druid. And we win the match, yep. Okay, well, Stitcher Supplier would have been a good draw. Probably would have grown our Goyf, who knows. They were going to die the next turn to our Goyf plus the rack that we stole off of with our Ragavan hit. Opponent might be a little salty there, but early scoop in game 1, unfortunate. I would have liked to at least seen a couple more turns. Game 2, we were able to race them with enough early pressure. So yeah, the deck looks like fun so far. Granted, the rack is not tier 1 strategy or anything like that, but it does a tackle and axis that is unusual, and we were able to navigate that match with our cheap threats and a little bit of removal. So sweet, 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 as Saffron Olive says. All right, thanks for watching. This is Johnny Cycles with cyclesgaming.com. I'll catch you on the next one. This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. This is Johnny Cycles with cyclesgaming.com. Be sure to check out my website for original Magic the Gathering content. Keep up with all my janky modern decks, such as my Budget Gruul Dragons deck for Modern, or my Commander decks, or read my science fiction fantasy novel that I'm publishing serially, a couple chapters every month. Also, be sure to check out my YouTube page, Johnny Cycles. Click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, y'all, and I'll catch you on the next one.